going to show you how to set up a Zaption video. Okay, they're very easy and a really useful tool, particularly for flip learning. So to start off with, you're going to have to go onto the Zaption site. So if you just type it into your address bar, come up. Okay, this has gone straight to my Zaption because I've already logged in. If you'd not already logged in, you'd have to set up your own login, but you can use your college email address to set up your login and then just press get started. All I did was I watched this welcome to Zaption video here when I started, although I'll take you through how to do it quite simply now. Okay, so the videos are called Tours by Zaption, so you're going to create a new tour and then it's going to ask you to find a video. So if I look in electrical excitation of the heart and search for that. Okay, pick one that's quite short, about 3 minutes long, this one. Okay, I don't know what this video is like. Obviously beforehand I would have looked through it, but it's just to illustrate to you how easy it is to use. So from here I'm going to add this video to the tour, and in it goes. If I want to cut down the video, if I want to trim down different bits of it, if I click on trim, and then I just pick up these blue circles, okay, and then I can drag those in or out, okay, and it will cut off various bits of the video footage. So if you've got a large clip that you want to shrink down, that's how you do it. Okay, and afterwards you just press save. Okay, so from here, all we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to use these tools across the top. Okay, we only get access to these tools because we're on the free Zaption site. Okay, so I'll start off by putting a text slide in to welcome the students. Okay. Okay then, so I'll start off with that. Okay, and then this just tells me how long I want that slide to be on the screen visible for to the students. So I can have it while the video is playing. At the moment the default setting is 3 seconds. I might make that 5 seconds. Or I could pause the video while it's on and then they'd have to click to move on once they've read it. So if it's a long and complex question that you're asking, you might want to pause the video while the students read it before they move on. If it's something like this, just walking them in, then you can afford to let it run alongside the video. Okay. Also, you can put it to the left or the right of the video. Once you've decided, you click done. Okay, and you can see this bit here is the text slide, so it shows you how big it is in relation to the whole thing. Okay. So then if we press play,
the heart's conduction system controls the generation and propagation of electrical signals, or action potentials, that cause the heart's muscles to contract and the heart to pump blood. This electrical activity can be measured at electrodes placed at specific points on the skin, from which a composite recording is produced in the form of a graph. This recording is known as an electrocardiogram, or ECG, sometimes referred to as an EKG, a tracing of the overall electrical activity of the heart, resulting from the propagation of many action potentials.
Okay, so if I just pause the video there, okay, because that's a nice screen for me, so what I might want to do now is ask a question. So to ask a question, I've got different options here. I can put a multiple choice question in where only one of the answers is correct. I can put a checklist in where there could be multiple correct answers, or I can ask an open response, so that's more of a continuous prose. So for this one I'm going to ask a multiple choice question. Yeah. Okay, and because I want more than another choice in there, I'm going to add another one and put T in. Okay, then all I need to do is set which one's correct. So that one's correct. You put okay, so your feedback can be as detailed as you want. You could have left that as just well done. Okay, but I want to ask them another question just to make them think. I'm not checking a response on this yet. Yeah, it's just to make them think. Okay, so then I need to set these, make sure that they're set as incorrect. Excuse me. Okay, then I've put the feedback in I want, and that's done. Okay then, so for this element setting, because I'm asking a question, I want to pause the video. Yeah? So the students got as long to answer that question as they want. All they need to do then is, once they put the answer in, they click play and it will carry on. Okay.
Let's look at what happens during a single beat of the heart, and how these events are depicted on an ECG. In a normal heart, each beat begins in the right atrium with an action potential signal from the sinoatrial or SA node, the heart's natural pacemaker. The signal spreads across both atria, causing the muscle cells to depolarize and contract, inducing a phase known as atrial systole. On the ECG, this atrial depolarization is represented by the P wave. The period of conduction that follows atrial systole and precedes the contraction of the ventricles is depicted on the ECG by the PR segment, a flat line following the P wave.
Okay, now I'm going to ask another question. So this time I'm going to ask an open response question. Okay. So here, I can put that in. Okay then, so here we've got an open response question where the students now are going to write in continuous prose the answer to that question. Okay, so again I'm going to pause that video, yeah, and it will automatically set to pause for that. Okay.
When the signal leaves the atrium, it enters the ventricles via the atrioventricular or AV node, located in the interatrial septum. It enters the bundle of His and spreads through the bundle branches and the large diameter Purkinje fibers along the ventricle walls. As the signal spreads through the ventricles, the contractile fibers depolarize and contract very rapidly, inducing ventricular systole.
Okay, again I'm going to ask another question just for the sake of using all the checkboxes, if you like. I'm going to use a checkbox section here. Okay, then. So Okay then, so there, I could add another choice if I wanted. Now, there's no correct or incorrect responses to this as far as you setting a feedback here. Now I've placed in one incorrect response, this one, okay, but the others are correct. So when I'm looking at the statistics that the students will give me by completing this, I'm making sure that none of the people have answered that the bottom of the heart is more easily stimulated by electricity. So this one, I'm going to pause the video again, press play, and it's away.
The ECG's QRS complex represents this rapid ventricular depolarization. Atrial repolarization also occurs at this time, but any atrial activity is hidden on the ECG by the QRS complex. Finally, as the signal passes out of the ventricles, the ventricular walls start to relax and recover, a state described as ventricular diastole. The dome-shaped T wave on the ECG marks this ventricular repolarization. On the ECG, the ST segment depicts the period when the ventricles are depolarized. The QT interval represents the time it takes for both depolarization and repolarization of the ventricles to occur. The sequence of events just described and the associated ECG trace repeats with every heartbeat. Remember, an ECG is not a tracing of a single action potential, but an amalgamation of the many action potentials that constitute the electrical activity of the heart.
Okay, so here I could put in another text slide. In fact, I'm going to move it back a little bit, okay, because I've let that play too long, really. Okay, so now I'm going to put in a text slide here. So and then I'm going to draw on here. Okay, so I've asked the question here that it's a shortcut way of making sure the students have watched the video, so I'll know when they come into the classroom, because they've got to give me this information basically to get past the door without me nagging them. But also I can look up the data, and I'll need to look up the data on them watching this video to make sure that they've got the other things. Okay, I'm going to look at the elemental setting here, and I'll pause that. Okay. And I'm going to wait for them to click to play. Okay. So now I've done the text slide, the drawing, the open response, the multiple choice, and the checkboxes, which just leaves me to put in, an image slide, which I'll do in a second.
A state described as ventricular diastole. The dome-shaped T wave on the ECG marks this.
So if I move it on a little bit to save you having to sit through, and then as soon as it catches up, if I press pause, then I'm going to put in a text slide again. So I don't want that to pause, so I can just play from there.
Every heartbeat. Remember.
And then because I've said this is a man-made one, I need to put the image in. So browse on my computer. Let's pacemaker, chuck that in. Okay. There we go. Okay then, so now I'll change the element setting there. I'll let it continue to play and I'll have that for 10 seconds. Okay. So now I've put all of these different aspects in. Now sometimes the videos don't land themselves, so you're putting them all in. Sometimes they do. Okay, but you can mix and match however many you want. Once I've finished, okay, I need to press publish. Okay, and I'll call it press publish, and then it's available for people to see, okay, including me. So if we go on to my tours, there it is, the option tour. Now to get that onto Moodle, etc., I need to share. Once I've shared it, okay, here we go, that's the address. I need to cut and paste that and put that onto Moodle. Okay. I could also publish it onto YouTube so other people can see it, and then from YouTube put it across.